Not so the deputy leadership, where the competition is fierce. One of the front runners is the Education Secretary, Alan Johnson, and Becky Milligan has spent the day with him.
I'm waiting for Alan Johnson. En route to his constituency, he's stopping off to see his friend and neighbouring MP, John Grogan. He's supporting the Education Secretary's quest to become deputy leader of the Labour Party, and they're old friends.
Sun's shining, a fabulous Yorkshire day.
It's a flying visit.
We've got about 27 minutes.
But John Grogan has arranged for him to shake the hands of a few Labour activists in a local cafe.
That's very interesting. What about if people down in the cafe ask you about deputy leadership?
Do you think they'll ask that?
They might do.
I'll confirm that I'm running. to a grateful nation who will no doubt be cheering and saying that's the best. Actually, we weren't concerned about the budget or taxes. That's the best news we've had all day now. So.
Alan Johnson sells himself as authentically working class. He lived in poverty, his sister brought him up after his mother died and he left school at 15.
But we also have to find things for young people to do. I mean, we can't kind of...
He moved from postman to union boss, from MP to cabinet minister. A rapid rise, helped by being a favourite of Tony Blair.
Moving a bit on this end, Wendy. Excuse me, just right.
But he needs more than the Prime Minister's support if he's to win the deputy leadership crown. He needs the votes of the party faithful.
Alan Johnson didn't always want to be a politician. Like many teenagers in the 60s, at the height of Beatlemania, he dreamt of being a rock and roll star. He had his own band called The Area. They even made a record. Sadly, his guitar got nicked, so his musical career came to an abrupt end. He still wants to be a star, and he's one of the favourites to be deputy leader. But the competition is fierce.
It's on to his own constituency in Hull.
Hey, Becky.
For an address at a union anti-slavery conference. But guess what? He's late, and his chief rival, Benn, has beaten him to the podium. He's a bit of an arch rival, isn't he? You're neck and neck, aren't you, with Benn?
Yeah, but we're great friends. I mean, I'd be in there cheering. He's a great speaker as well. So, yeah, rivals, but comradely rivals.
From India who came to see me.
Alan Johnson needs union support. He fell out with some of them when he backed scrapping Clause 4. Here he needs to build a few bridges.
Alan Johnson has just gone off to a highly sensitive lunch meeting. So I'm going to take the opportunity of nipping into the bookies. Yes, I want to know the odds on the Labour deputy leadership race.
I most certainly can. If I can just refer you to the screen. We have Benn at 3-1 and Alan Johnson at 7-2. They're pretty much neck and neck at the moment in terms of the favouritism. We have John Cruddas at 9-2, for whom there's been quite a bit of money lately. He seems to be sneaking up on the rails. We have Peter Hain at 6-1. Thereafter we have Harriet Harman at 8-1. And then we have two 10-1 shots, Hazel Blears and David Miliband.
Next stop, Rokeby Park Primary School.
Would you like to do a nice big rook?
In his role as Education Secretary and local MP. He's been invited to watch a play encouraging children to be engineers. Afterwards, I grabbed him to ask how his education brief has helped him form his bid for the deputy leadership.
I'd like to think that I can enhance the leadership team, that I can bring to it experience. I've spent my life, I've never studied politics, I never studied anything very much, but I've lived through a political process that's been quite extraordinary. I believe I can relate to people from all kinds of backgrounds because I'm interested, genuinely interested in people, and my politics is about ensuring that there is a close link between people's aspirations and their ability and their determination to get on in life.
What would you like the job to be? I mean, do you want to be in cabinet, or do you want to just be a sort of link between the party at large and the leader? How do you see it?
I'd like to remain as a cabinet minister. I like being a frontline politician, and there's no reason why, as deputy leader, I can't stay as Secretary of State for Education, provided the Prime Minister decides that's what he or she would want me to do. So, yes, I want to stay in frontline politics. I don't see the deputy leadership role as some kind of party apparatchik. I see it as an essential complement to the leader.
When I was in the cafe with you, one of the people there said, "Oh, Alan Johnson, terribly charming. That would be fantastic, especially with Gordon Brown as leader."
Gordon is extremely charming. He doesn't need any lessons in charm from me, but I think, I have worked with Gordon for a long time, and I think I can complement his tremendous leadership skills, his tremendous intellect, his great sense of a moral purpose in politics.
Now, some of the people I've been talking to, politicians, about you being deputy leader and what they make of it, they agree, charming man, but what they worry about is that you haven't got the bottom, you haven't got the experience.
I think I've got a fabulous bottom, but in terms of the other things you mentioned, I think that's unfair criticism. I don't think anyone could say that I've kind of lived a life in some kind of backwater as a political student or a research officer. I've been in the front line right through my career as a official trade union leader and as a Member of Parliament and a government minister.
People are looking at you as someone who could be the deputy leader of the Labour Party. What is your background? What do they need to know about you?
Well, I have impeccable working class credentials, but I don't take them out every 5 minutes and polish them. So I don't like to get into what my personal life was like and all of that. But, I come from where I come from. I left school at 15. I had to work as a shelf stacker at Tesco's before they sacked me, but that's another story. Then I became a postman. I raised 3 children on a council estate. I've been through the kind of problems that people face in their day-to-day lives.
Now, not so long ago, about 6 months ago, you were being tipped as a possible Labour leader. That sort of slightly faded away. Now, as a candidate for deputy leader when the post becomes vacant, there seems to be a sense that the campaign hasn't quite lifted off. I mean, why is that?
I made it clear from the start I was interested in the post of deputy leader, but that the campaign starts when the current deputy leader, who's very good, steps down. Now, John has announced he's going to step down at the same time as Tony Blair. That's when the election starts.
What about the leadership?
It's run up to our conference in September. There was a febrile atmosphere around it. It looked like everyone was going to be throwing their hat in the ring, and I thought, well, if everyone's going to be doing it, I might as well do it as well. But then everything calmed down. We came away from our conference very, very united, very determined that, yes, there may be a contest, but there'll only be a contest if 2 candidates, or 2, 3, 4 candidates, genuinely think that they can do that job.
But it's not ruled out in the future?
It is, really, yeah. I mean, no one can tell. Never say never in these circumstances, but, I've got no aspiration to lead the party, now or in the future.
We thought that we must find it for you, and I hope that you're pleased.
Here is the exact replica of the guitar which was stolen from Alan Johnson all those years ago.
Well done.
But can he really play? The Politics Show decided to put him to the test.
Go on.
Is it electric guitar?
It is an electric guitar. Papa's taking us to the zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow. Papa's taking us to the zoo tomorrow. We're gonna stay all day, we're going to...
Secretly, would you actually prefer to be a rock and roll star, and do you still feel there's a chance that you could be discovered?
Or what makes you think I'm not going to be a rock and roll star? What's secret about this? Of course, this is just a holding position before I get to be a rock and roll star. And if I don't know what could hold me back. I've got the charisma, I've got the looks, I've got the ability. I'm a fabulous musician. My song, Bad Skin, the middle eight is how can any girl want to be with you when every kiss she gets just tastes of Nivea? Brilliant, you're impressed. This is going to make me a lot of money, make me a big star. So it's just a matter of time, really. It's just the next few years.
What could stand in his way? Only an out-of-tune guitar. Becky Milligan reporting there. And just to say, there's more from Alan Johnson on the website. The address is on the screen there now.